At its worst, we were down to like 14 grand a month revenue. Right now, we're like at 145.
Well. I feel like I'm just starting a brand new podcast today because it's been such a long time since I've had the time to sit down with a world-class guest and do a podcast that it just feels a bit weird. So today I welcome to Paul More Talk Shit, Mr. Joel Stone.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I say welcome to the show like I'm about to dig you out on something.
Do it.
Yeah. Anyway, Joel, the reason I invited Joel, everybody, was Joel, a few weeks ago, is the coveted winner, the 4th or 5th ever winner of the Unstoppable Man of the Year. So first of all, congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Were you expecting it?
No, I didn't know it existed.
Did you not?
No, so
Wow.
it really caught me out.
So this belt is prestigious. It's basically given to the person over the course of the year inside of our program who's had the biggest, most impressive transformation across the board. And I did have a little meltdown when I presented it to Joel because I must say I've never seen a transformation like it. Across the fucking board, mate. Health-wise, mindset-wise, mental health-wise, business-wise, relationship-wise. I've seen fuck all like it, mate. So just another little congratulations on that.
Thanks, man.
Let's dive into the questions. Where were you when you decided to take action? When you decided to step up and make some changes? Like, where were you at?
So,
Because there was a little phase, wasn't there? There was
Yeah.
there was the reason you joined, and then there was another reason that forced the change. Because it wasn't like you joined and then went, push.
No, I actually kind of was a tag along.
Yeah.
Like, so my business partner joined Alliance.
Yeah.
And I watched it be really good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's good for his mindset. He lost a bit of weight.
Yeah.
Seemed to get a bit more structure in his family life,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
And I said to him, the Christmas prior, I said, this has been really good for you. I think Codebreak, our business that we shared together, should pay for it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you should be paying for this personally. It's been, and
Yeah.
and then he said, well, actually, Paul's offered me to go into Elite X.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, yeah, do it. Codebreak will pay for it. And he told you that. And you said, well, tell your business partner to come too.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
That's not always a good move either.
yeah. But I think, like, you probably read between the lines and thought,
Yeah.
well, takes a bit for someone to say, we should pay for this.
Yes.
collectively. And so I sort of came in a little bit blind. Like,
Yeah.
I knew you, but
Yeah.
I didn't know the program.
Yeah.
I didn't know the guys. I probably hadn't earned my stripes in the way that.
Yeah, normally someone has to go through something else first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so.
We call that they're indoctrinated.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I wasn't part of the cult yet.
Yeah.
And so I came in a bit blind, and like, I'm quite sort of confident in my like ability to discuss things and to mastermind and help other people.
Mm-hmm.
But I perhaps neglected some of the stuff for myself. And yet, to be fair, if you'd met me 10 years prior, I was in a far worse state, far worse state.
Yeah.
So I had done a lot of work on myself, but
Yeah.
I hadn't necessarily focused that. And I'd only recently sort of got into the mindset of like, I'm not the main character in everybody's story.
Yeah,
I'd only recently sort of started to realize that a lot of like my thought patterns were self-destructive, and I was compounding negativity and that
Yes.
kind of thing. So actually, in that first year where I was a tag along,
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of work on myself,
Yes.
but it was like self-realization, self-actualization stuff.
Yes.
And then what happened is I was coming, well, Andy and I, my business partner, were coming for a one-to-one with you and Leslie here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd had a lot of problems for like 3-4 months
Yes.
where I felt like we were pulling in different directions.
Yeah.
I'd lost a lot of my self-worth and didn't know why. Clients were leaving.
Yes.
Staff were leaving. I was putting on weight. My relationship wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And in the car on the way here, which you don't know this, I cried. And it's a 5-hour drive of me bawling my eyes out going, this is the only fucking opportunity I'm ever going to have to tell the truth.
Yeah. Let this out.
And I was like, but it's not a counselling session, so I need to go and get some shit in place. And I knew what that meant,
Yeah.
but I didn't know.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that session because it wasn't what I was expecting. You came for a consult and I was like, oh, this isn't what I'd planned to talk about. And I wasn't, the things that you told me, I was like, oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Because that was kind of under wraps, wasn't it? It was one of those things that And I think every business has this, where there's something that's bubbling.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you came with it. I was like, oh, shit. And obviously we dealt with it, but it was like, it was an eye opener for me as well.
Yeah, well, there was sort of two prongs to it. There was I'm really unhappy and I'm not quite sure why, but I think I do know why.
Yes.
And there's I never thought I was going to find myself back in this emotional place again. And here I am. And it's a lot scarier this time, because this time I've got all the coping mechanisms in place that I had to deal with it from last time.
Yes.
And I'm still here.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yes. And that whole concept of I know better now, that actually can be harder. So I remember when I first went in a Wake Up Warrior, I was in a bad place and they gave me all the tools and I wasn't really using them. And that actually made it worse. I think personal development in that sense sometimes can make it worse, because you get to a point where you're like, oh, well, actually, I didn't know this before. Yeah. And now I know it and I still feel the same. I'm still doing the same stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's do the best you can with what you know, but when you know better, you got to do better. I knew better, but I wasn't do better. And that actually made me feel worse about myself.
Yeah.
So I was like, now I know I've got all this knowledge now and I'm still fucked.
Yeah. Well, I remember we're essentially talking about feeling suicidal. So I remember the first time.
Oh, you're just going to casually drop that one?
Yeah, well, otherwise we're going to beat around the bush.
To be fair, I brought that up because a lot of people think I was suicidal and then I joined the program. Actually, I wasn't suicidal. I was struggling. I knew there was a real challenge. I'd had some thoughts,
Yeah.
but they were nowhere near as bad as they were a few months later. To be fair, that program did change my life because I ended up using those tools. But there was a period where I actually learned it, didn't do anything with it, kept doing the same stuff, and then I was like, I'm so shit.
That's that whole.
It was me. It was all me. Like, I'm so shit.
That's the darkness comes before the dawn thing, though, right?
Yes.
It's like you have to learn the tools, go through the shit to get out the other side.
Yeah.
And like the first time I ever felt properly in a bad place was my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I had a tremendous amount of guilt around it because I had to tell my mum that she was the only person I knew I could tell.
Yeah.
But she dealt with my dad being suicidal all of my life.
So you didn't want to.
I was like, what she could do? Like, she's just got rid of him. Like, he didn't die. They just divorced.
Yes.
And now her son's going to walk in and say,
Yeah.
like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You know, you make such a great point. This whole, what I'm going to call it, narrative, and I say this all the time and I get a bit of shit for it, this whole narrative of just talk, it's not that easy, man. Like, when you're in that position as a man in particular, I've never been a woman, so I don't know. When you're in that position as a man, you've clearly already done some shit that you know you shouldn't have done. You already feel like some level of burden. You know what I mean? So now you're going to go in with like, okay, I know I'm already a burden. I know I'm already a pain in the arse. I know you already probably don't like me as much as you used to. I know that I'm a moody cunt to be around. I know that I've probably fucked some financial shit up. I know that I come in pissed or I'm hungover. And now I'm going to tell you that I'm suicidal. That's why it's so hard. Like, what do you say? How do you say it? What if they don't react in the way that you think they do? What if they can't deal with it? This is what you've written. People don't talk about that shit.
Yeah, and I think, like, for me, like, I'm very fortunate. Like, my mum's a very understanding woman. She's been there herself and has had a husband who's been really unwell.
Yes.
Lost her brother-in-law to suicide. And my wife's a very understanding woman too.
She has to be.
Of course.
Mine does the same. Mine does the same. But I can't think of another woman in the world that would want to live with me.
Well, yeah.
Can you?
That's how exactly. And yet I'm like, fuck. I'm in this place despite all of these things that I've done.
Yes.
Despite how hard I've tried.
Despite how my life looks like from the outside. Yeah.
And I've got to walk into my mum's house or my house or my business coach's office and say, I'm in a fucking bad place here. And to the rest of the world, it looks like I'm flying. And then the second time when I was sat with you, the worst bit of it was when it had happened before and I'd been anxious, and a lot of those anxieties aren't real. They're like catastrophizing.
Yes.
I've built them up into something much worse than they are. This time when I shared my anxieties with you or my wife, both of you looked at me and went, they're logical anxieties. They're things you should be worried about.
Yes.
I was like, oh shit. So my thoughts, I was like, shit, my thoughts are real.
Yeah.
This time it's real.
Well, you had facts and stats and data. You actually, with those ones, there was data.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really scary.
Yeah.
That was
like, and just because we're kind of skirted over this, just so for the guys listening and watching, what's your business? What do you do?
So I run a business called CoBreak. It's a marketing agency. We help owner-managed businesses scale from sort of mid 6 figures to 7 figures and beyond through advertising, funnels, that kind of thing. So
And you have a team of?
we're a team of 6 at the moment.
Yeah.
We've been as big as a team of 12.
Yeah.
So it's part of the game.
Yeah, it is.
We've actually got more clients and we're more productive now than ever.
Yeah.
But we can have a smaller team because of automation.
Just to put it in context, like, I think it's important for people to know what you do. So you're mainly office-based and you do a lot of traveling, right?
Yeah, I'm all over the show. Yeah,
You are.
the mileage is...
Yeah. I mean, Joel's drove 5 hours here today. Yeah.
Yeah, I am here tomorrow, so it's not...
You are here tomorrow.
Yeah,
You are here tomorrow. So tell me about what was the catalyst for you then, apart from that to change? Like, what was the thing where you're like, right, it's go time now? Because there must have been something. I still remember that conversation. And I know you mentioned, let's throw this in. I remember you mentioning, I didn't even realize I was doing this. When you said I was struggling and Paul sent me messages. You said it and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
That just feels like part of what I do and who I am. So just explain this little period where that was clearly some kind of, it wasn't like a light bulb moment that set it off. It seems like it was a bit of a period of time where you're like,
There was an element of luck in the sense that the day I was coming to see you, my business partner got ill, and so I could talk about things that I couldn't talk about with him there.
yes.
Not necessarily just about him, but about me personally.
Yeah.
And I got all that off my chest, but it was still very like, this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong with the business.
Yes, this is an actual problem, not just him.
I don't think at any point in that situation did I say, and I'm in a bad place.
Yes.
I just talked about the
I mean,
reality.
it's fucking obvious to be fair.
Yeah. But then I think like 2 days later, you just checked in on me.
Yeah.
And then a couple of days after that, you said, oh, have you spoke to Andy yet?
Yes.
And I had.
Yeah.
And then you checked in on me again, and you checked in on me again. And then like one day I was out walking the dog, and it was like 6:15 in the morning. Because at the time I was doing this fucking ridiculous walk a million meters.
I remember.
So I was walking 1,000,000 meters to help people with their mental health whilst having a fucking breakdown. And I was recording these videos.
I don't know if I should be laughing, but
Oh,
yeah,
it's funny.
It's fucking.
Like gallows humor, right?
Yeah.
I'm recording like selfie videos telling people how they should walk to help themselves with their mental health whilst fucking rotting inside. Oh, you're fucking lying to people. I wasn't, because I was helping them, but it felt horrible.
Yeah, and if you weren't doing that, who knows what would happen?
Yeah. And anyway, 6:15, you must be, how you doing today, brother? Or something like that.
I didn't say it in that accent, by the way, just so you know. You were going to try my accent for a second. It crossed your mind, didn't it? There?
Oh, no way. No chance. I haven't got it. And I was like, oh, he's checking on me.
Yeah.
It's a funny time of day to send me a text regardless. He's checking on me. All right, I'm doing okay. Text me again. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Text me again, doing okay. And then you sent me a text saying, sometimes you do just need to ask for help. I'm not always going to check on you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I knew he was fucking checking on me.
Yeah.
And so you were telling the story on stage when you gave me the award the other week. And you were talking. I had no idea you were talking about me.
Yeah.
I was just oblivious.
Really?
Oblivious. I was like, what? Like, why would it be me? I don't think like that.
Yeah,
and then you mentioned something about, and I was like, shit, he means me. Oh, fuck. I better think of something to say. And then when I stood on the stage, I was like, I think everyone here needs to realise, like, I've been in mentorships, I've been in masterminds, some good, some bad.
Yeah.
But I've never been in one where if I'm struggling, whether it's mental health, business, whatever, someone's checked.
Yeah.
No one's ever checked on me.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
And I was like, actually, like the most value I've ever had out of this whole thing
It was getting checked on.
just someone checking on me.
Getting nagged. You know what? That's part of the reason why I pay someone to do that full time, pretty much. But it's because I've been in so many programs and the same happened to me. I was like, well, am I just a number here? Like, what's the deal? And what's interesting, and I want to throw this in now, when you decided to run the business on your own, I will admit that I was a little bit concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Because you think about this, you think about a partnership as that's support. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be support. It's supposed to be teamwork. It's supposed to be half the profit, half the duty.
Share the problem.
Like share the thing. And then you are suddenly on your own. And I was like, oh shit, this is a real fucking test. This is a real test for Joel. And I'll be honest, I didn't know whether you could handle it. And for me, this is why you won the award. Because not only do you handle it, you exponentially grew like 10x.
Oh, and some, yeah.
Mentally, physically, in a way, you didn't grow, obviously. You lost physically. But mentally, physically, emotionally, and business-wise, that's the thing that blew me away the most. That you kind of, I'm not going to say you did it on your own.
I didn't.
But you kind of did.
Yeah.
You kind of did. It wasn't just you. You clearly had team. You clearly had network. You clearly had support, family, mastermind, alliance, people in my team, etc., etc. But you kind of did. You assumed the mantle of, I'm the leader of this now.
Yeah.
You fucking put it might not feel like this, but it's like you put a fucking, is it a fork in the ground? You drew a line in the sand. You put a fucking stake in the ground and were like, this is me now.
Yeah. So there was like two things. There was the meeting with our team for me to tell them, for us to tell them that Andy was leaving.
Yeah.
Which was a lot.
Yeah.
The team liked him. I like him.
Yeah.
And they thought we were joking.
Yeah. Really?
They were like, what? Like, they thought it was just a big prank.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's how much we've covered up the shit that we've handled behind the scenes, because even the team don't realise.
Yes.
And then that gave us a 4-week period, because it's quite quick once the decision was made. So I had that chat with you in the December.
Yeah.
It took me until the April to have a serious chat with Andy.
Yeah.
Not because there was any level of like manipulation going on, but he needed to realise that it wasn't what he wanted anymore as well. It's not just about me.
Yeah.
And his family are concerned and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we had that. In the April, I said, it feels like you don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't.
Yeah.
I said, okay, what's your number?
Yeah.
And he gave me his number, and we shook on it, and
Yeah.
fairly easy transaction, did the legals, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Then you got to tell the team. Then we had a month's period where Andy's going to come in and do his duty because he's a good bloke.
Yeah.
But then he's off.
Yeah.
Like, he's had his money.
Yeah.
And it's all on me. And so I made a very clear effort that we were going to have a meeting on that first Monday where I was going to lay down what Code Break looks like with me in charge.
That is you.
Yeah. And sat down with the team, and I said, first thing I did was I said, you've all got your birthday off. Like, give them a win straight away. You've all got your birthdays off. Right, they loved that. Like,
I don't even get my birthday off.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I'm fucking 44 years old, like, so I don't know what I do.
Yeah, I just was like, right, in this very moment, I haven't got very much to give
let's get a little win. Yeah,
but I need to give them a little win.
Class.
So, right, you've
Class.
got your birthdays off. Right, port of call, things are going to change around.
What happens if my birthday's on a weekend?
They get carries, so you can have it on the
Oh, shit!
or the Friday, yeah.
Whoa!
So what I said was, you've all got your birthday off, but actually I'm just giving you an extra day's holiday. How you use it is up to you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but little win, get them on side, and then talk about, right, these are the things that were Andyisms, these are the things that were Joelisms, and these were the compromises.
Yeah.
It's all shifting this way.
Yes.
If you don't like that,
Yeah.
it's fine, leave.
Yeah.
And one person did.
So it was a line in the sand.
Yeah. We call it an on the bus meeting in our business.
Yeah.
So you either I'm driving the bus.
Yeah.
You're on the bus. You can't be following the bus. You can't be hanging on to the bus. You can't be waving at the bus.
Yeah, you can't be jumping on
You've got to be in
another
your
bus.
seat with your seatbelt
You can't be
on.
half on another bus and
Yeah,
half on
yeah.
my bus. Yeah.
You're in your seat, seatbelt on, or fuck off.
Yeah.
And our longest serving member of staff, who I care about dearly and really, really respect, decided to leave. And I like went home, big exhale.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is very fucking real.
It's
now.
game on.
Yeah, because she was like pulling the strings. She knows where the bodies are buried. She knows where the keys are kept. All that stuff.
yeah.
And I was like, right, I've almost lost my right hand man straight off the bat. Like, I need to like up it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, right, lean onto the network. So then I just went all out. Right, who do I know that should be working with me that isn't?
Yeah.
What's my approach?
Yeah.
How do I make that feel good for me? So moved away from sales tactics and much more towards
Relationships.
Yeah, like not no longer was it like what needs to happen for us to work together. Much more is like, why aren't we working together yet?
Yeah.
That kind of.
Yeah.
And it started to come.
I saw you do that yesterday. Now that you're saying that, I saw it happening inside of the Elite X group, but you are bang on. What's a pixel? I'm like, bro. Even I was like, bro. Man's running a 6-figure business, doesn't know what a pixel is. It blew me head off.
And he's been to my workshop.
Yeah. I'm talking about you, Gary. You'd probably be listening, Gary, but yeah. I mean,
don't tell me you can't afford to join up with Cobra. You just bought a fucking Range Rover.
Well,
Get involved.
and at the same time, though, Joel, right, you got to think about it. I think, fucking hell, if you built that without knowing this, the potential's fucking endless.
Especially
people
in
say to
Italy.
me, you built this business without doing sales calls. I'm like, yeah. You built your business without a sales team. I'm like, yeah, I have. Then they got excited. I couldn't understand why they were so excited. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same deal. Anyway, so you drew your line in the sand. You had your on the bus meeting. What were some of the things that you did that kept you on, that basically stopped you from losing your shit? Give me some fucking insights now that guys can take home.
First thing I did was tell the team the truth, the whole truth.
Yeah.
So I told
So
them.
for anyone listening, it doesn't have to be the team. It can be your partner. It can be your family. It can be
So
whatever
my
it
partner
is.
knew.
Yeah, of course.
My
Mate,
mum-
they always do.
Yeah, well, yeah, she knows better than I know.
Yeah.
And she's pretty much the only person I'm responsible to other than the staff.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, in the on the bus meeting, I'm going to tell the team, I'm going to tell them the truth about my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell them the truth about any medication I take. I'm going to tell them the truth about my routines.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell them the truth about the direction for the business, what motivates me,
Yeah.
why I like helping people, what gets me excited, what Codebreak is about and why we do it,
Yeah.
and what's in it for them.
Yeah.
And their jaws dropped. They because I not purposefully hidden it from them in the
Yeah,
past, but
yeah.
they were like, "You're one of the most together people we know. Like, we look up to you.
Yeah.
You're saying you haven't got your shit together."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, welcome to the real world." Like,
Yeah,
this is like-
yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, I've got a
Welcome
lot
to the
going on."
men's world. That men's
Yeah,
are great
yeah.
at covering shit up.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be women as well, but I've never been a woman, like I say. But yeah, the amount of times I see that, it's unbelievable. The conversation that I've had with guys that come in for a consult and it ends up going in a different direction is mad.
yeah,
Is mad.
I have it with clients.
Yeah.
On marketing.
They come in, they're like, here's the truth.
Like, why do you want to do this? And it's never because I want to grow a massive business. So I've got low self-worth. I want a new car because
Yeah, it's mad what people.
I've got a
people's-
tiny dick.
It's
or
mad, isn't it?
whatever
Aye.
might be.
Aye. Aye.
Yeah.
That wasn't me that said that, by the way.
Oh, no,
So, you told the team the truth.
Mm.
What are some of the things you did to grow the business without... Here's what I'm trying to say, right? What are some of the tools, strategies, techniques, things, tasks, whatever, habits that you employ to grow your business, because you grew it exponentially, without losing your shit? Because those two things
So
aren't fucking exclusive.
I'm unusual in the sense that I lose my shit when the business isn't growing, not when it is.
Yes.
When it is growing, it's a good problem to have.
Yes.
It can be tough. And
Yes.
I don't like letting people down,
Yes.
but there was in the 2 years prior to this point, there was a lot of heavy grind and tactics and advertising spend for little return. And that was just beating me up because it was things that should work and they weren't, and I didn't know why. And it could be a number of reasons. It could be personalities in the business, could be closing techniques, anything. Like, you just don't know.
The offer.
The offer,
yeah.
the way the staff deal with stuff.
Yes.
So I had to just fully embrace everything I did know that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy relationships.
Yeah.
So it was like, right, what relationships can I lean on
Yeah.
with clients that I really like, and basically say, who else is like you that should be working with me? To do a lot of that. Where can I speak? Where my voice will be heard, respected, and then people want to come towards me.
Yes.
What can I do with the podcast where people will listen to the podcast and take action rather than listen to the podcast and go and try and do it themselves?
Yes.
They were kind of like the business growth.
So actually, if I look at all three of those things, right, those three things that you mentioned are all about adding value,
Yeah.
not selling.
Yeah.
All of that's about value.
And it became about making it that to be friends with me is heavily in their favour. And then they want to be clients anyway.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
It's not manipulation.
No.
I fucking really care about my clients.
Yeah.
And I really care about my mates.
Yeah.
But from their perspective, the balance has to be in their favour.
You're the good news to their bad news.
Yeah.
You're the who for them. A lot of the time.
Yeah. Like, I want to be on our clients' top 5 numbers that they'd call in an emergency. And if I'm not doing my job properly. And when I started thinking about it like that, a couple of the staff were a bit concerned because this sounds like everyone's going to ring us with all their problems all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, they're not.
Or we're going to BNI.
Yeah. I was like, no, we're going to put boundaries in place.
Yeah. Rules of engagement. Yeah.
But people will know when the shit hits the fan, whether it's business or personal, they can come to us.
Yeah.
Why would they come to us about personal stuff? Because they'll come to us about personal stuff and we'll take all the business shit off their plate
Yes.
so they can deal with their personal stuff. And the staff were like, well, marketing.
I remember when you did that for me. Remember when you did that for me on the phone and you were like, how do you not know this? And we had to lock up the
Yeah,
Facebook, we had to
and
lock up the ads.
See, that was a divine intervention, luck, whatever.
Yeah.
Something weird happened then.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know me very well then.
No.
And you rang Andy.
Yeah. Oh, did I?
And you said, like, oh, Andy.
I need someone who can do this.
I need someone who can sort all this out, blah, blah, blah. And Andy was coming back to you. I don't know. I was somewhere with Andy.
Yeah.
So I think we could send Martha.
Yeah.
She'll come and sort you out.
Yeah.
And I took the phone off Andy and said, no, I'm fucking going.
Yeah, I'll do it now.
I'm going to come and sort it.
Oh, so there's two things. One of them was, I remember I was in Krakow and I needed someone to run an event
Yeah.
that you now do every quarter.
Yeah.
But there was also the incident when you were here where I said, mate, I need this account locked up.
Yeah.
It was I meant the second thing, but the first thing you bang on about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So both, I was like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And he was like, you shouldn't do that. I'm doing it. I'll figure it out later. I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'd say it's probably been worth £250,000 to me now.
Sure. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like lifetime value or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Well, and also, mate, you got to think about this. You did the thing where you just help people.
yeah, like help them.
Help people. Show them that you can help them a bit more if they give you money. That's all it is.
Yeah,
I'll give you
yeah.
some help for free, but actually, if you want the real shit, you got to.
And the reality was, like, you paid me for the first one, but I didn't know what I was going to get paid till after.
Well, you said something that I was almost sick when you said it.
Yeah. We
He
won't
said,
talk
guys, I'm going to share this. He said, I said, how do I want to pay you, mate? And he said, well, let's think of a number that works for me, works for you.
Works for the universe.
He said, where I win, you win, and the universe wins. I was like, it's 20 quid, all right. But yeah, what were you going to say about the non-paying thing?
You said, and the full story there is you said, does 2 bags work for you?
Yeah.
And I said, is a bag the same thing up here as it is where I live? And I said, let's make it 1 bag, but you can give me some more of these workshops.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
And
And my guys love the workshops. You love doing the workshops.
Yeah.
And they work for both of us.
yeah, and now we've got a bit of a different deal.
Yeah.
And like anyone that comes on board, there's some commission comes back your way. It's like win for me, win for you, win for the universe.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Win for my clients as well. They can be the universe. So, Joe, what you said there really, and again, I've just been reflecting on this. Like, what you said there is you doubled down on the shit that you loved, actually. Because again, when we're forced into this place of right, I need to get a handle on this. I need to grow the business. We often have this weird belief that we have to do loads of shit that we hate.
Oh, massive.
But you're already doing loads of that.
Yeah.
So I think that all the time. It's January as we're recording this, and the amount of people that today will be doing loads of stuff that they hate because they think it's going to give them a life that they love is mad.
Oh, we have like this amazing ongoing discussion / argument at home between me and my wife.
Yeah.
Where she's like, oh, last year you went to America 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're traveling all the time. I was like, don't hate me because I've designed my life the way I want it.
Yeah. That's and it's so weird because you don't have to do that. You could probably make more. I say this all the time. I could make more money by saying yes to loads of opportunities, but it's doing shit that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I'd rather make less money than say yes to loads of things that I don't want to do.
And that was like one of the things where when Andy and I decided to part ways, he got more fulfillment out of volume and bringing more and more work in at lower ticket.
Yeah.
Because that was his nature. My nature is higher ticket work where you've got to think about it more. You've got to have better relationships.
Yeah.
You've got to get under the bonnet of the business, into the personality of the client.
Yeah.
And so I pick and choose who I work with.
Yeah.
And then it's more fun.
Yeah.
I literally had a sales conversation with someone this morning in Sweden. He's like, I'm choosing between Sharpism, Closers.io, and you. He was like, they've both said that in order to get me on board as soon as possible, that they'll do a buy one, get one free. They'll look after this business, but they'll work with my other business for free.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
He said, what do you mean? I said, I'm so good at what I do that you should pay me for both.
Yeah.
I was like, and also, I've got enough clients that I'm not going to beg you to work with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, well, they didn't say that. I was like, well, I look forward to working with you soon.
Did you close it or what?
He's got to run it past his business partner.
Oh,
I don't
it's still
know,
in the
but
thing.
I'm like,
You're all right either way.
yeah, that's cool. I'm not emotionally attached to
Yeah,
it.
there was one that we were talking about the other day where I was like, I really should call this guy and keep him in, and I was like, I'm not willing to do that. I'm I'm not doing that anymore. And I think there'll be many people out there who think, oh, that's all right for you. But I think at some point you have to make that decision that nobody here listening in got into business to do shit that they hate.
Oh,
Nobody did.
when I bought Andy out, I was not in a financial position to buy him out.
You fucking definitely weren't.
No chance.
You
Like,
100% weren't.
I put everything on the line to do
Yeah.
that. So that means that when you get a dickhead asking to be a client, you should say no to them, whether you can afford to or not,
Yeah,
because you can't afford to say yes to them.
that's interesting.
Like,
Yeah.
Not that Andy was a dickhead.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
no,
what
I get it.
mean.
I get it. But clients,
Yeah.
someone comes to you and they're a dickhead, yeah.
Yeah, if someone starts making demands before they've become a client, imagine what they're going to be like once they're a client.
That happens to us. That happens. I want to talk to Paul personally. He's like, well, you have to pay to be in the program if you want to talk to him, and even then it's going to be on Zoom, mate.
I want to know what we're going to do in the first 12 weeks.
Yeah,
Once you've paid, we'll
we'll talk about that. Yeah, I get it. I
I
get
go
it.
to an architect and say, draw me a house, and then I'll pay for it.
That is mad. So first step, I'm going to double down on things in the business that I love doing, that I value highly, so it doesn't feel like I'm in hell trying to grow my business.
Yeah, I didn't want it to feel, I felt like an employee,
Yeah.
which is nothing like, do you want to be an employee?
Yeah, nothing wrong with
Everybody's
that.
like that.
We need them.
Mm.
We need them,
I
yeah.
don't want to be one.
No.
And I felt like one.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, what are the things I can put in place straight away
Yeah.
so I no longer feel like an employee in
Yeah.
my business?
Yeah, nice.
So like, I need to be paid this much. I need this kind of stuff. I need to do stuff I enjoy.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the first piece. Second piece, growing the business without losing your shit. Mentally, let's talk about this.
So
Because mentally, so we've had the business transformation was what? How much did you grow the business by
we went,
since you went on your own?
at its worst, we were down to like 14 grand a month revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're like at 145
Shit. So what's that?
in 6 months. Well, we're on for 2 mil this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Listen to that again. From 14 grand, this is the headline for the podcast. 14 grand a month to 140 grand a month in 6 months.
yeah.
Shit. That's pretty mad.
I'm
That is
making
pretty
a
mad.
sale a day at the moment,
Yeah.
and I was making a sale a month before.
That's fucking wild.
And
That's
I haven't
wild.
changed loads.
Yeah. Mentally, how have you stayed on point? What's changed there?
I feel more in control because I am, which is a big thing for me. Not. I think it's a big thing for anyone with anxiety. Anxiety is like you feeling out of control.
Yeah.
And so I
Stay on this for a second. What do you do to help you feel in control? Because you have a strategy for that.
I've got a lot of strategies for
Yeah.
that.
What's your strategy to feel like?
Got a routine.
Yeah, what's that look like?
Routine. So same every day.
5 a.m. ice bath. No.
I am an early riser anyway.
yeah.
So up early, always make the bed. Always make the bed. I know it's a bit shit.
No, I get it, mate. I don't, but I get it.
Yeah, I always make the bed because I know I've got the day off to a good start if I've made the bed, and then I always have some water.
Yeah.
Like it's real simple.
Yeah.
But those days where I skip water, are fucking shit days.
That's mad.
And then like
It's pathetic.
and then like everything's into the swing of things. Then really, there was a bit of like cultural issue prior where it was like just come into the office when you want as the leader,
Yes.
and I've changed that.
Yeah.
Like I'm the flag bearer now, and I like carrying that responsibility.
Yes.
So I'll come in and I'm like, I'm here first and I'm out last sometimes,
Yeah.
but I enjoy that.
That's interesting because that's definitely not me.
Yeah. I'm not.
However, what's interesting, because I talk to Leslie fairly often about this, like, my team will have things in the Asana and getting emails from me to send to people and emails to plug into the email list and posts and things like that, like 6:30 a.m.
Exactly.
So they know that even though I'm not here, there's shit happening because
Yeah,
they've got
yeah.
an email from me at fucking 6 a.m.
You're working.
Yeah.
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 And that's exactly it. Like I sent a voice note to Martha at 5:45 this morning.
Yeah.
And she replied at 8:30 like a normal person.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing voice
Yeah.
note?
It's an interesting thing, that, yeah.
But it's about like I've really enjoyed showing them that I'm in the trenches with them.
Yes.
I'm not doing the same tasks. That
Yes.
would be ridiculous.
Yes.
But that has given me a sense of control
Yeah.
and a sense of like Martha. She's essentially like in charge of the business day to day,
Mm-hmm.
and the amount she's come on in the last 6 months from seeing how I've behaved is enough inspiration for me in itself. And I've just been like, if anything, I just need to show up for her.
Yes.
And so it's like, right, what am I eating? What am I drinking? What does lunch look like? Do I actually take a break? I've started taking the dog into work because then I have to take the dog for a walk halfway through the day.
Yeah, nice.
Like, what am I doing in terms of like making sure I've got things to look forward to? Am I getting home at a reasonable time?
Yeah.
And all these things in place. And then...
Sounds really weird. That is just structure.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
Yeah, and
it's mad how many people don't have it. It's mad how many people, don't have it. And then they blame being busy for not making progress. I'm too busy. I'm rushed off my feet. I'm stuck. And I've said all these things. I'm slammed. And the reason they don't go to the gym is because they don't have time. And the reason they can't grow the business is because they don't have time. And the reason they don't do any marketing is because they don't have time. I'm like, how do you know you don't have time? Like,
everyone thinks they're busy till they meet someone who's busy.
No, they can never show me. It's the same as people who have no money. They can't show you where it's gone, and they can't show you where it's going.
Yeah.
It's the same with time. People that don't have time can never show me where. So where did the time go? Show me, and then where is it going? Where are you? What did you allocate it to, and what are you allocating it to next? And they can never tell you.
They don't value time.
That's interesting.
People don't value money. They think they do, but they value the things money can bring, and they value the things time can bring, but they haven't linked that back.
That's really interesting.
And I'm like, I really value my time.
Yeah.
But I get a lot of joy out of being in the office.
Yeah.
So I've like revamped my bit of the office to make it like a little geek den.
Yeah.
Because I spend a lot of time there. I spend most of my life there.
Yeah.
So like, if I want to tune out for an hour and play some music, I've got a sound system in there now. I can do that.
Yeah.
If I want to watch Netflix, I've got dual screens.
Yeah.
But that's my space.
That's really interesting because I'm like, it's interesting because I'm the opposite of that. Like you'll have you've seen my little Fritzl's basement up there. I'm in there to work and then I want to be home.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really interesting that, isn't it?
Home is home for me. I don't do much work at home at all.
Yeah.
Because home is where I spend time with my wife.
But what's really weird is that, if I think about this, that office upstairs that you've seen where I do all the Zoom calls with a thing behind me, I only do Zoom calls in there. If I record a masterclass, it's in here.
Yeah.
If I'm writing emails, it's in there with the team. So I'm very much weird. Like sometimes I'll work in a coffee shop and I'm fine. Considering that I'm ADHD as fuck and I get distracted easily, I have no problem working in a coffee shop.
Yeah, and like I'd say before, I probably preferred working in a coffee shop.
Yeah.
So I was like, what are all my favourite things that will make this space?
Yeah.
As productive?
See, if I'm watching Netflix, I'm not getting back to work.
Yeah.
Like, do you know, you're like, you can do that. I'm like, if I put Netflix on, I'm done. That's me.
Yeah,
I'll have Netflix on. I'll be doing this at the same fucking time.
I'm
and
just about it.
Yeah, I think I like variety. I think that's what I like. I'm a big fan of variety. I don't like doing the same thing at the same time. And I value routine at some level, and I value habit stacking and that. But I very rarely do the same things in the same order at the same time.
Yeah, the team
I value uncertainty.
The team would never walk in between 8:30 and 5:30 and see me watching Netflix.
Oh, that's interesting.
That wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
There's too much.
Oh, that's interesting.
Too much shit to do. But if like last night, I was in the office till 9:15 last night.
Oh shit!
Just stuff going on,
yeah,
things you're doing, and WWE's come to Netflix.
Oh, I didn't say that. In fact, it's all over me fucking Netflix. I'm sick of seeing it.
I was like, right.
I'm like, what makes you think? What in your algorithm tells me that I'm into fake fighting? What tells you that I'm into fake fighting?
It's not fake.
I mean, what is it? What do you say?
What is it? What do they?
I know why it is. Because I watched the fucking Vince McMahon documentary.
Yeah.
Which was fucking incredible.
Exactly.
That's why.
And like, what do they say? It's not fake, it's choreographed.
Oh, okay.
If you get it over the head with a steel chair, it still hurts.
Does it though?
It's not quite the same as
getting hit with an actual steel chair. No, it's not.
But yeah, we get into that. But there's things, basically, last night I'm sat there, I was like, right, I've got this to do, this to do, this to do.
Yeah.
They weren't like intelligent tasks.
Yeah.
It was just slog.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I better get them done.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to stick the new episode of Raw on in the background.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because like, if I'm sat there, I might as well.
Yeah.
And also, I'm never going to be allowed to watch that at home. So get home and we're watching like a Yellowstone or whatever it is, something cultured.
I like a bit of Yellowstone, I do. I'm a big fan of Yellowstone.
If I got home and was like, oh, can we watch the new Netflix Raw? I'd probably end up divorced.
That's like me saying, do you want to watch Arsenal versus Newcastle tonight?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well,
or do you want to wait and watch Tottenham Liverpool tomorrow?
That's what I get away with at home.
Is it?
I know where I'm pushing my luck.
Yeah.
If I put football on at home, she's like, fair enough, that's on Sky.
Yeah.
If I
Put wrestling
Put
on.
wrestling on. She'd be like, I thought you grew out of this 20.
That's fucking insane.
And I don't have to concentrate on it because it's shit.
Yeah.
It's popcorn TV.
Yeah.
So I could just say, oh yeah, I'm just doing some records.
Joel, I've got no idea how I ended up here. We covered the first piece was do more shit you love inside your business and it'll grow exponentially faster. Number 2 was if you want to feel like you're in control, you got to have some structure.
Yeah, big structure.
Yeah.
Big structure. And you've got to make other people accountable for it too. So like we brought in a system called ClickUp,
Okay.
which is like Monday or
Asana.
Asana,
yeah.
Prior to that,
Trello, all them kind of things, yeah.
Prior to that, we were a bit more of a Trello type business.
Yeah.
For the uninitiated, Trello, you have to do a lot of the building yourself. It's
Yes.
like something where you build it all out.
Yes.
ClickUp is all of those systems on steroids together, and it's quite overbearing. It'll tell you what tasks you've got to do, how long you've got to do those tasks, and when they're due.
Yes.
And it also tells me everyone's tasks in the business.
Oh, yeah, that's like Asana's like that
and
for
if
us,
they're
yeah.
doing them
yeah.
in a timely fashion.
Yes.
And then it will report to me if people are missing deadlines,
Yes.
or if there's enough capacity in the business, or if there isn't.
Yes.
If someone's got too much stuff on.
Yes.
And it probably took me 2 weeks to set that up, like properly. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
Mate, the
amazing.
exact same thing happened with me with the sauna. I still remember it was 2020. It's December 2020. We used to have the whole thing in this very room. There was a whiteboard there with all the shit that people needed to do that week on it, right? Where we're at with the numbers, what we've got happening inside of each program, what needs to happen this week. And then I was in London recording this audiobook and I just lost me shit. I just sent a massive email to everyone and I was like, there was only 3 of us then actually. I was, this been done, has this been done? Where we're at with this, where we're at with that? And I was like, I realised I have no control over my business unless I'm looking at a fucking whiteboard there. I see that with wall planners. I said to someone the other day, well, what do you do when you're not at your wall planner? A wall planner's great, but what if you're not there?
Yeah.
What if you're not next to the wall planner? I just assume that people know this shit. Why aren't you using Google Calendar?
Well,
Do you know the thing that syncs with your phone, your laptop, your desktop, and your thing? And you can print it out if you really wanted to. Like, I don't get it. But that transformation from a whiteboard to a sauna was a fucking game changer for us.
and for peace of mind and control, I want to be anywhere in the world and know what needs doing.
Yeah.
And funnily,
Sometimes I don't even look at anybody else's tasks because mine are in there as well. And we get this little competition. I don't know whether you guys have this. No one wants the red tasks. Red basically means it's overdue. So we have this little competition between who can get the fastest. So when you take one off, you get like a unicorn, like a sticker. You take them off, and then anyone that's got red tasks, you're behind.
if
it becomes
if
a bit
red task
competitive.
happens in our business, I get an email.
I think we do.
And
Not me. I will turn all them notifications off.
Yeah, so like because
Yeah.
I'm basically like operations.
Leslie
director.
might get them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is bad news if I get that email.
If you get the red.
Bad news for whoever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like they know as well.
Yeah. What I love about that is John DeMartini has this saying, which is a short pencil is better than a long memory. It's the same kind of deal. You're not having to remember shit.
Yeah,
Neither are they.
I'm having
Neither are they. The worst business people that I have to work with are people that do drive-by delegations and then blame the staff.
Oh,
I'm pretty by for it. Can't have you remember to do this? He's like, what? You didn't, what? It's not in a sauna.
you want something to do? Write it down.
Aye.
And by write it down, I mean digitally.
Yes.
Like
It's mad.
make people accountable for it by
Yeah.
giving them the task. In a
You're also
format that
making
they can
yourself
refer to.
accountable to it as well. Look, I did actually give you that. There's the fucking evidence that I can see when I put
If
it
I
in.
ever ask you to do something verbally, and I haven't made you write it down when I asked you, it's my fault if it doesn't get done.
Yeah.
And that kind of just take responsibility for your business.
Yeah.
But like I've got it at home at the moment. People listening will really relate to this. Every Christmas, my wife's sister gets us a calendar,
Right.
and it's normally a calendar of our nephew.
Right.
Like lovely pictures of him,
Yeah.
and it's got one side says Hannah and one side says Joel, and you're meant to write in everything you've got going on. And I fucking hate it. I hate it. And my wife's like, "What's wrong with you? Everyone has a calendar, you weirdo." I'm like, "Yeah, I've got a calendar. It's on my phone.
Yeah.
It's got everything on there.
Yeah.
And it syncs with all my other calendars.
Yeah.
It syncs with the football fixtures.
Yeah. That's it. You didn't see mine.
Literally,
That's the first thing that's in mine.
Yeah, I love that because Shrewsbury Town send out
Do you know
the
if I
fixtures.
didn't have that, right? If I didn't have that, I would miss games.
Me too.
Because the moves in the championship, we had one at 3 o'clock on Sunday.
We're playing Wrexham at home now on a Thursday.
TV.
Yeah, because
And then they always have these 12:30 kickoffs on Saturdays now. We've had like 6 of them. I don't mind them, to be fair.
that new Sky.
The
thing
Sky thing.
the
But
EFL thing.
I would miss them. Because
Yeah, same.
Google updates it.
Same.
And there's one thing I don't want to miss. Never mind the kids' parents' evenings or kids' rugby. I'm not missing them Sunderland
Yeah,
games.
so I've got like UK bank holidays calendar,
Yeah.
football fixtures calendar,
Yeah.
code break calendar,
Yeah.
Joel personal,
Yes.
all in one.
Yeah.
Hannah's is all written on this fucking thing in the kitchen.
See, I've got Leslie on board with the Google.
And she says to me, like, "Oh, where are you on this date?"
Yeah.
"Oh, it's in my calendar."
Yeah.
"Where are you on? It's in my calendar."
Yeah.
Well, I can't see.
Mate, she even has Leslie has to have the football fixtures on her calendar so that she doesn't book things in when me and Max are at footy.
So she says to me the other day, she says, like, "Can you write everything on the calendar?"
Yeah.
No. Why not? I was like, this year I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm on Apple and she's on Google, so
Yeah.
there's a bit of a.
Oh, well, that's easy to sync. Apple will sync to Google like that.
I know that. You know that.
Oh, shit.
So I've got her an app
Yeah.
and I sent her my calendar.
Yeah.
And she opened it up and she went, "Fucking hell, no wonder you won't write it all on the." 'Cause like, I've got like 20 things a day in mine.
Yeah.
And then and she put hers over.
Yeah.
And there was 3 things.
Oh,
I was like,
shit.
so it was really interesting because that opened up a whole thing then of like, she's just had an operation, blah, blah, blah. I was like, you need some stuff to look forward to. There's nothing in your calendar.
Mm.
And she said, "What do you mean?" I was like, "You live an incredible life, but it's all in your head.
Yeah.
Get it in the calendar."
Yeah.
And now it's like, yeah, she does all
She's
this.
on board.
Yeah, she loves it.
Yeah.
And so now I find this thing that's
Do
like,
you know what I think the problem is, Joel, with a lot of people? So I'm always trying to get guys to do this, obviously, because people come into our program, they tend to be doing okay in the business. They're just all over the place, right? They're me perfect client. They're time poor. Most people I work with, my favorite clients, the best people I work with, are guys that are doing okay money-wise, because obviously they've got to invest in the program,
pay the bills, yeah.
but they want to get that time back. And I'm like, use this calendar. And I think the hardest part is actually getting it started, because you're building it from scratch. Now we find it easy because we're actually it's like Tetris. We're just filling in the blanks. But when you're starting from scratch, you're like, I don't know what I do. I don't know how long things take. I don't know what I do. I don't know when I do them, and I don't know how I do them.
Yeah, we do with our team. This is a good one for like business owners.
Yeah.
We do a quarterly time audit. Give everyone
Horrible.
Give everyone like 5-minute slots.
Yeah,
on
eating
the
shit.
sheet.
Eat shit.
Do this for a week.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you all the things you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. We
find
do that with our team, but we let them say, what do you not want to do anymore? And we don't grant every request, because I'm like, well, that's why I hired you.
Yeah.
To mainly do that task. So that's the one you're keeping. But a lot of the time I'm like, before I hire somebody, I'm like, why would I hire somebody to do the jobs that my staff want to do or already love doing so they can do more of what they hate? I'm like, I don't really hire for a role. I hire to buy back time for me and buy back time for the team.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I've got a team of people who do 90%. 90% of the work is work that they love doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then
Well,
whoever comes in to get that role, they obviously like doing that job or they wouldn't apply for it.
So I've mentioned Martha. She's like the most senior member of the team.
Yeah.
She hates admin.
Yeah.
Hates admin.
Yeah.
If you want to be an account manager in an agency, you have to do some admin.
Yes.
And she fucking hates it.
Yeah.
But she's so good now that I've employed people to do her admin,
Yes.
and it's like game
Yeah.
changer.
Yeah. We do that as well now. We have a VA doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Really basic shit that actually I'm like, why am I? Because it's not. Mate, it's so easy now. Like, it's never been easier to get help,
Yeah.
to get support, to get fucking staff.
Automation.
Automation, AI, fucking it's never been easier. Yet for some reason people want to make it complicated and scary.
Yeah, and I like
Because they think it's a 40 hours a week job and it's this and you don't need to do that anymore.
I cocked it up to start with.
Yeah.
I brought in like a PA for the business.
Yeah.
Like an EA or whatever.
Yes.
And she came in, like got good CV,
Yeah.
and I knew within 2 hours that this ain't gonna happen.
Technology wise, or
Technology not too bad.
Yeah.
Attitude.
Yeah.
It was that like had come from a corporate where pace was actually, you'd think corporate would mean the pace is rapid.
Yeah.
But actually corporate means that there's plenty of other people to hide behind.
Yeah. Oh,
So unless you're top of the chain in
Yeah.
corporate, there's 200 other people who can take responsibility for your mistake.
Yeah.
And
Mate,
so-
that pace is huge.
yeah.
Our first thing is we're looking for people for our fast paced environment. You must
Our latest 2 hires have both quit already,
really,
and I'm cool with that.
because of the speed. Yeah. We are very fast paced.
Yeah.
In fact, even to work with a company, so if we're going to work with a printer, for example,
Yeah, I bet you're a printer's nightmare.
printer's nightmare, but I pay very well and I pay more than everybody
And on
else.
time.
But the
Yeah.
reality is, I'm going to need it yesterday with
Yeah.
almost everything in
By
our
the time
business.
we've got it done.
We need people who can move fast in every single area. They need to be able to change stuff really quickly, and we'll pay extra for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pace is massive, man.
I'm exactly
Especially
the
with
same.
me, I'm a fast-paced guy.
Yeah, and like from like a distraction perspective as well.
Yeah.
Like I think I come across quite calm. You've said to me before you seem very laid back.
Yeah.
You sort of know now that I'm perhaps not as laid back as I
Yes.
appear.
Yes.
But if I ask for something, I want it fucking now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's a blessing and a curse.
oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I have to write down, is it a want or a need? And if it's a need, I need to work with people who can deliver that.
Yeah.
And so
Is it a deadline or a preference?
yeah, so like we've had 2 new starters start on Monday, and their interviews were very different to the 2 that quit because I just gave them a hard time.
Yeah.
I was like, this is going to be a fast-paced interview,
Yeah.
and it's going to be tough. And the one lad, his first interview was very good, but he was very nervous.
Yeah.
He came for his second interview, and I was like, I've got a big question for you, but you're not going to like it. So I was like, in the first interview, you called me mate 67 times. Do you think that's appropriate?
Oh, shit.
And he was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So did I? He was like, why have you invited me back? I
Yeah.
was like, everything else you said was brilliant. So what's
Yeah.
that about?
Yeah.
I was actually really nervous, and it just comes natural.
Yeah.
I was like, well, we can be mates, but we're not mates yet.
Yeah.
So just be careful. Like he started, he's been great.
Yeah.
Like, but I just needed to realize, yes, I need a bit like the sales thing. I need to be professional, and I need to do the, tick the right boxes.
Yeah.
At the same time, my personality's got to come into this.
Yes.
Like, this is my business.
Yeah.
It's run how I want to run it.
Yeah.
Whether you're a client, a prospect, a supplier, or a staff member.
Yeah. It's my game.
Yeah.
I make the rules.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is my game.
Yeah.
And
I think so many people forget that, man. We get caught up in this fucking PC thing. Like the amount of comments on my ad saying, well, why is it just for men? Why is it just for men? And I'm like, why not? And no one can give me an answer.
Yeah.
Why are you just marketing to men? I'm like, well, why can't I? And I just get fucking tumbleweed.
Yeah.
It's because I want to.
Yeah.
Because I want to. Full stop.
Well,
Why? Well, just because I want to.
yeah. What, like the one employee that quit started asking me about their rights, and I was like, oh, to be honest, you've not been here long enough to have many rights.
Yeah.
I was like, but
What do you mean?
you've come on the work do.
Yeah.
You come in on the Christmas do.
Yeah.
Like,
Your rights for what?
you've had, I don't know. Like, I don't know whether they wanted me to award them all of their holiday or whatever it was. And I was just
Yeah.
like, look, like, if this isn't for you, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you're not entitled to anything.
Yeah.
And
You've been here 2 minutes.
yeah, it's just like there is a little.
And would
bit-
you say that, and I believe that people are the hardest part of business, but
I'm
also
the best.
and the best, yeah, the most important, the hardest, the best. What
Uh,
are some of your tips then for either people that are hiring for the first time or people that have a team now? What are some of your tips for
Gotta be
handling?
really, really strong on your company values.
Yeah,
Like if your values are just there for show,
yeah. Such as
well, that like one of our values is own your shit.
yeah,
So an accountability value. The
Yeah.
other one is stay hungry.
Yeah.
But I know a very well known mastermind in the UK that talks about values a lot, who don't adhere to their own values,
yeah,
and everyone knows,
yeah,
including their staff.
Yeah.
It must be a nightmare
yeah,
because you can't kid people about that stuff. They know. They sniff it out.
Our values are a nightmare for us. No one just said. We just said people are the worst part and the best part. Our values are sometimes a nightmare because one of ours is we give a fuck about people, and sometimes
You don't want to.
that's to our detriment. We give too much of a fuck about people, and it scares people. Do you know what I mean? It scares people. I don't know anybody whose own client has blocked them and still pays them because we gave a fuck about them. Where's your return report? Why haven't you submitted? Where are you? Why aren't you turning up to the trainings? Why haven't you been to any meetings? Why aren't you watching anything? Why aren't you doing the work?
Yeah.
And they blocked us. I'm like, I've never heard of anyone that gives so much of a fuck about their clients that their own client blocks them.
Well, yeah.
I want you to win. But that's so very, very clear and ruthless on your company values.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, we've got people-based values, and the reason that exists is I lose sleep about my clients' results. So if I'm going to lose sleep about it, I might as well build it in as a positive.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's going to eat me up.
Yeah.
So you get, ruthless about your values and then hire within those values.
Yes.
So ask questions in the interview.
Yeah, what does that
process.
mean to you? Yeah.
Yeah, so like one of your colleagues has been dipping in the till. It's not an amount of money that's going to affect the company, but it's enough that that they're doing all right off it.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah.
And see what they say.
Yeah.
And it's like, some people will be like, oh, I don't want to be a grass.
Yeah.
And some people will be like, for the greater good, I need to say this. And some people will be like, oh, I challenge them first before coming to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And there's no wrong answer. Yeah. I just want to gauge
where you're at.
And like, I asked people like, one of the questions I asked recently was, tell me your favourite biscuit and then tell me why I should love it.
Sound like Jordan Belfort, yeah.
Oh, yeah, something in this pen, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, 9 out of 10 people say bourbon, which is boring.
Oh, my God, instant non-hire.
But yeah, so I give them shit straight away.
Yeah.
And then...
Do you need more time? Do you need more time to think about that?
The other person like, says something like bizarre.
Yeah.
And then like really goes in.
Like Garibaldi?
That's disgraceful.
Yeah.
That's
a good biscuit, though.
Raisins.
What about a fig roll?
Oh, no, that's not a biscuit. That is not a biscuit. You're not getting the job. Like, fuck off.
I'm a terrible hire.
Like, tell me why that's a biscuit.
Well, yeah, it's only $5 a day.
Yeah,
it's only $5 a day. Yeah, we did this actually differently when we hired sales team.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, these people are now, being in the office is one thing, where I can keep an eye on you and see, but a sales team where you're representing me and my brand, and you're talking to people and I'm not there and I'm not listening in. That was probably the most uncomfortable hire I've ever made. Because I'm like,
do you have the recordings?
Yes. But I have someone else.
That's the element of control.
I do have someone else that I do trust. I don't even listen to the recordings unless he's like, can you listen to this? But I trust him. He trusts them and he manages them. But that hire, those hires are the most uncomfortable. Not even the first hire was fairly uncomfortable. But these sales hires where you are representing my company and I'm not there at all.
Yeah.
And you are someone that I don't know, and you're asking people for money and you're asking them uncomfortable questions, and people might be really struggling when you're talking to them because it's not just business that we do here. That's where we started really asking those really difficult questions. Yeah. One of ours was just, tell me something that you're really passionate about. You got 5 minutes, go.
I love that.
Tell me something you're really passionate about and make me feel passionate about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with the biscuit.
Yeah, and it was just like, I was like, if you can't waffle for 5 minutes.
I do it like, what's your favourite film and why?
Yeah.
I always say that. And half of them's like, oh, I don't have a favourite film. Yeah. Get out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't really like films. Get out. Like,
you don't really like films.
And it's not because I want you to really like films. It's because I want you to be decisive and have an answer.
Yeah.
Because if our clients ask you a question and you say,
I'll ask you all.
Well, I don't mind them saying I don't know, but there's someone in the team that does. Yes. That's okay. But if you like say I'm not sure, all you're doing is seeding doubt, and so that's the values thing is really important.
Yeah.
The next thing when you're bringing the hires on is like hiring over characteristics over skill.
Yes.
So like we hire on character. I can teach skill. Martha, a great example. She can't listen to this podcast. She'll get a big head. But she worked in an estate agent as an apprentice.
That's not for girls. Anyway, I'm joking. I get so much shit. I'll get cancelled because of that. Yeah. Well, ladies, you're listening and you're more than welcome.
An inner circle of listeners.
Yeah, there we go. Inner circle ladies be listening, yeah.
I'll seed it.
Yeah.
So, but like she was working as an estate agent apprentice. She wasn't really enjoying it, couldn't see any progression.
Yes.
And at the time, our office was ripped to shreds because it was COVID.
Yeah.
We gutted the office because we were going to refurb it to encourage the staff back to the office.
Yes.
So we're working on a building site, and I remember it so vividly. She came into this interview, and we'd interviewed a few people that day. And because it was COVID, people were like showing up in their joggers. It was a bit of a shit show. Yeah. And she was wearing a red dress and heels.
Yeah.
And she walked in like she fucking owned the place. And I was like, shit, this woman is either going to be the making of me or the death of me. And it's a risk I'm willing to take. And her cat, like, she's like a dog with a bone. She's like, she cares so much and she really wants to do a good job for people.
Yeah.
But she had none of the skills.
Yeah.
But within 6 months, she was our best team member.
Yeah. And how did you know that she cared about people and that she wanted to do the best job? Like, how did you?
The effort she'd made for the interview.
Yes.
She was on time. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but half the people that will be late.
Yeah.
She brought a notebook and she'd written down some questions that she wanted to ask at the end.
Oh, yeah, that's an instant hire for me as well.
She researched the company.
Yes. Huge for me as well.
She knew who I was. She knew who Andy was.
Yeah.
She'd
just demonstrated the characteristics that you're looking for.
Yeah. She didn't take
without you telling her to.
Exactly that. And also when she answered some of the questions, she asked, why did we ask that?
Yeah.
And I was like, that is a smart. Like, so we didn't ask the biscuit question, but she'd have been like, oh, it's Oreo. And then like she'd have said something horrendous, like, because it's full of cream. Like, just lunatic.
Yeah.
But then she'd be like, why have you asked me that?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, we want to get some more insight into how decisive you are and if you're persuasive.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, oh, well, if you want to talk about me being persuasive, la, 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 la. I was like,
Yeah.
fucking hell.
Yeah.
Like,
You got a unicorn hire.
Yeah. And then, so she set the bar, and that's been really, really good for us. Like, that's really, like, she helps me with the interviews now because she knows, and like, I'm not there today. And if any of the newbies
But you're not there tomorrow either.
Or Friday.
Or Friday, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lady in the red dress, a fucking winner.
Yeah.
Joel, listen, I wanted to ask you a couple more questions about our work together. When you joined the program, what were your first impressions?
So
be honest.
I knew what I was getting myself into because I'd seen you speak on stage.
Oh, shit.
So the first time I met you was at Expert Empires
Yes.
at Wembley.
Oh, there would have been some bombs.
The last time you spoke there.
There'd have been an issue. They haven't invited me back. I remember a specific sign that I did, which is the wanking sign, and then I threw I did the little throw at the end. I went like that, and then I went like that. I remember my wife kicking off, and she said, did you really, I told you not to do the wanking thing, but you really threw the throw on the end.
The Q&A the night before for the VIPs.
Oh, shit. I got the last minute on that, yeah.
And someone in the crowd fell asleep, pissed.
Oh, shit.
And you called them out.
Oh, so you knew, I didn't to do that. I'm pretty bad for that.
Yeah. And it was wicked. I was like, I'm into it. Because I call people out and I get in shit for it.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I'm into this.
Well, no one else said anything. There's 4 people in this panel, and there's a guy asleep, and no one said anything.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, this is not my gig.
In a room of like
100 people.
And like some serious businesses in that room.
Yeah.
And this guy's got so pissed up that he's fallen asleep.
Yeah.
Like,
And he got
in 2 hours. Like you've put some drink away in 2 hours.
Yeah, in 2 hours, yeah.
And you said something, I was like, I'm into that. Like, that's fucking cool. A month later, I'm sat in Elite X. I walk into the room. I knew a few of the lads anyway.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm a bit of an odd one. Like, I can walk into a room and sometimes I'll be like really confident and socially like out there.
Yes.
And other times I can shrink into myself and hide.
Yes.
It depends like if I'm tired.
Yeah. I can't do that technically.
No.
I struggle with that part.
And it's weird. People find it strange for me because they don't know which version of me
Yes.
show up.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I need to throw myself into this.
Yeah.
I need like, and I knew straight away. A few people said things, and I was like, oh, I can contribute here.
Yeah.
And you let me.
Yeah.
And then when I came to do that first workshop for you, which was like 6 months later, you were like, oh, Joel's in my program. I don't know why he's in my program because he should be running my program. And I was like, oh, that's a very nice thing to say.
Yes.
Like, and I was like, we've all got shit going on, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is a very welcoming space. That was like my overarching feeling.
Yeah.
There's people in this room, if I'm honest, that intimidate me.
Yeah.
That I was like, either because they're financially successful or they're fucking mental. Because we do have a sat in Elite X tomorrow, and there's people in that room that have got shit going on.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm not sure if at any moment right now, you're going to stand up and kill everyone in this room. Like, you've got issues.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some mad cunts.
And
we do have a varied room.
Yeah. But then I was like, these are my people.
Yeah.
Because I've got that in me.
Yes.
I sit there
and that is the thing, mate. We're not a normal it's not a normal. In fact, I hate even calling it a mastermind. I don't even think it is.
Yeah.
I don't even think it is. Especially the way that we've changed it, where I'm like, why are we waiting a month to ask a question? I'm here, I'm there every day.
Well, there's that like Michael Douglas film, Falling Down.
No.
Have you seen that?
No.
So he's having a bad time.
Right.
And he's getting himself in a bad state.
Yeah.
And then he walks into a burger restaurant one day and they get his order wrong and he just fucking snaps.
Did he get a gun out?
Yeah,
I've heard about that. I read an email from Ben Settle about that once.
Yeah.
And I still remember it.
I feel like everyone in the Elite X room has
Could
got
do
a bit
that.
of that about them.
Yeah, they have.
A little bit of like, it's not corporate bollocks. Like,
if shit went sideways and there was a mastermind, like, do you know, like on Anchorman?
Yeah.
Where Ron Burgundy has the fight against
like
Vince Vaughn, we'd fuck everyone up.
We'd
100% fuck everyone up.
That's it. Like, I've sat in other masterminds and like people bring this like corporate waffle bollocks to the table.
Yes.
And I'm not cut from that cloth. And I don't fit in those rooms.
Yeah. No, me neither. There was a program I was in for years where I used to go and I'd be like, I used to be like, this is boring. Like, someone's going to say, Paul, what have you... They basically say, Paul, can you come to the front and tell everyone what you've been up to this month? Because everyone just came, well, I hired one new person and we grew by fucking 4% this quarter. And that, I'm like, oh,
Tell
come
me your
on,
biggest
man.
challenge.
Like, that's fucking...
Like,
say some proper shit.
Get into some meat.
Aye.
Yeah, and I've sat in that room and just been like, oh yeah, these are my people.
Yeah.
And I've really felt like an in-betweener before that.
Yeah.
Like literally the series in between.
Yeah.
School.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at sport, but I'm not one of the cool kids.
Yeah.
I'm not, and I'm not one of the library kids either.
Yeah.
And my head's all over the place. So I don't know, like, where the fuck are my people? And then I came into that room and I was like, everyone in here is mental.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I love it.
Yeah,
and,
it's a lot of fun.
and like,
And then you never know what's going to come from one week to the next.
and there's like,
Someone come watch your biggest win and someone say, oh, I bought a fucking hotel, or I bought a boat, or a fucking, I got rid of my business partner.
people in the room that you would meet them away from the room
Yeah.
and be like, that guy's fucking nothing.
Yes.
And they're multimillionaires.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And,
That is mad.
and like, or that guy's fucking nothing because he's got a coke habit.
Yeah.
And actually, he does mountain rescue every weekend and saves people's lives.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
go
It's
fuck
wild.
yourself.
It is
Like,
wild.
you could judge these people. They've achieved more in their lives in the last 6 months than you have in 20 years.
Yeah.
And sitting in that room, like, really inspired me to be better.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's people in this room that have, like, done far worse things than I have in life.
Yeah.
But they've done far better things than me too. And
That's cool. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how is that
cool.
so? How is that so? Because I'd say I've, like, had a fair few obstacles in my way in life.
Yeah.
But I've met people in that room that have had much bigger obstacles than me.
Yeah.
Achieved more.
Yeah. I'd say we've got quite a few misfits. That's what I would call it.
Yeah, in between
We've got a
us.
few misfits.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
like,
In fact, I would say everyone in there's a fucking misfit.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because we've got a lot of people that have been in other programs and felt like they didn't fit in, like you said, didn't
Yeah.
fit in there, but actually I fit in here in this fucked up, whatever this fucked up thing is.
And what
The filthiest jokes in the world.
Oh,
So I want a camera people in. I'm like, no, Connor, do not record anything that happens in Elite X.
Oh, but all those lads that have been in other programs,
Yeah.
have sat in those other programs and gone, all of these people are pretending to be normal,
Yeah,
and you don't have to pretend here.
no, that'll be everyone. People would know.
Yeah,
I'd know for a start.
yeah.
Come on, man.
Oh, like what? But and like, I guess for people listening, like, in terms of how my wife looks at it,
Yeah.
she's like, "You've been talking to Paul again, haven't you?" I'm like, "How do you know?" She's like, "Because you're more you than you are normally."
Oh, that's interesting.
And I'm like, "Go on." She's
I
like,
thought you were going to say you'd not stop talking about dragons since you
well,
got back.
no. It's not like I'm unashamedly me when I'm here,
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and no filter.
Yes.
And I'm not one of those that thinks you shouldn't sometimes filter. You should.
Yes.
If you're talking to your team,
Yes.
you probably shouldn't be saying what you were doing with your wife the night before necessarily.
Mm.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
but I'm unashamedly me,
Yeah.
warts and all.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow, I could say like, "Oh, by the way, last week, lads, something fucking horrendous happened,
Yeah.
and I'm struggling with it."
Yeah.
And that would be cool. I've not come across another program that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
that.
Yeah, that's interesting. So my last question then, Joel. This is a pure. It's not really a sales question. Who would you say Alliance, which you're an elite expert, obviously you're a big part of Alliance as well. Who do you say Alliance is perfect for?
Anyone who has got the bit between their teeth
Mm-hmm.
in terms of they know there's something they can do with their lives,
Yeah.
but they feel like they can't join the dots. So that's like, I would say there's so many people in Alliance who, Misfits is a good one actually.
Yeah.
Like, maybe like, I wouldn't join that program because it seems a bit stuffy. Or, like, there's no use me doing an online course because I haven't got the mental application to
Yes.
just sit there and. But if I get myself in a room full of good lads and actually start talking to people,
Yeah.
I can come out my shell.
Yeah.
That's what Alliance is for. Those lads that are like, "Oh, when I go to the football, I feel a bit nervous because I'm just not one of them." Or
Yeah.
like when I'm chatting to the accountant, he confuses me.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of feel out of place in all these different places.
Yeah, get yourself in Alliance because
Yeah.
there's like some really good lads, some really good stories.
Yeah.
Who've had some fucking mad shit happen in their lives,
Mm-hmm.
and like I've had some mad shit happen to me.
Yeah.
And I've met people in Alliance and Elite X who make my problems seem petty,
Yeah. And they're still smashing it.
and they're still smashing it. And it's all relative.
Yeah.
No, I've never met someone who's gone, well, you think your problems are bad. Like, they
No, we
just
don't
put
have
their
that, do
arm
we?
around me and, like, said, I had no idea you had that going on. But, like,
Yeah.
and
Fair
like,
play.
obviously, I was very honest when you gave me that award the other week about what I'd had personally going on.
Yeah.
Like, stand up in front of a room full of 200 people and say that's hard.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that came up to me and just said, like, I wish you'd said something. I had no idea you had that going
Yeah.
on. I had to go to my room at the hotel and spend an hour in my room just to get it all out.
Oh shit! Really?
Because people who I didn't know came up to me to check on me. And
Yeah.
that's what Alliance is
Yeah.
about. It's
That's
like,
cool.
there's lads there who've lost their partners, lost their kids, had serious things with cancer, who were
Yeah.
coming up to me to check on me.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
It's mad that, because I do say it drives me insane because obviously I'm a self-centered prick, but when people say the best part is the community, I'm like, fuck off, man. But then, do you know what I mean? What about me? I'm like, what about me? But
I gave you your applauded.
do you know how you did it? You did, but it's really weird because Kath will go, well, you've created that. I'm like, well, I kind of have, but it's weird. It's just gone organic. And I suppose on a marketing and sales point of view, I suppose that's the consequence of me being myself online and saying, actually, this is not for you if you're X, Y, and Z. This is for you if you're this. And then that thing's just happened organic. It's like a fucking tidal wave.
I tell you what I've really struggled with that you've given me permission to be okay is I come from like a long line of macho blokes
Yeah.
who've had macho jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm the first one to work in an office and not get my hands dirty, basically.
Really?
But I'm I'm a hefty guy.
Yeah.
But I really care and love and like really want people to do well.
Yeah.
That's not very macho. And
It is?
but it is like
It is macho?
Alliance has like shown me
What
that,
makes that it is macho?
yeah.
Yeah.
And like there's guys in there that could rip your head off.
Yeah.
Who really fucking care.
Yeah.
And you've created that.
Yeah, that's
You've
interesting.
like got a bunch of people together who could all be in prison. But
There's a few that have. There's at least 10 that have.
Yeah. But instead of doing something positive with their lives and helping other people,
Yeah, they give a fuck about each other. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I suppose you wouldn't last long if you didn't give a fuck about anyone else. I always say that
like
anyone that comes into a group and just takes.
me and you text each other about that. I'll
we
text
do.
you about they won't last long.
Yeah, do I. Just comes in and takes and doesn't offer anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, it's like that's the whole values led thing.
Yeah, it
like,
is.
You sniff them out straight away.
Yeah.
You're like, you never ask anyone else a question about them.
No.
You only ever talk about yourself.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah. Joel, where can people find more about Joel Stone?
So, cobreak.co.uk if you want to know about the agency. If you want to connect with me on all the socials, at Joel Stone Official.
Yeah. Or you may find him in a Netflix documentary very soon. Because he's not a porn star.